Therion, formerly Blitzkrieg and Megatherion, is a Swedish symphonic metal band founded by Christopher Jonsson in 1987. Its name was inspired by the Celtic Frost album To Megatherion. Really? To Megatherion is Greek for the Great Beast, and was a title used by the occultist Aleister Crowley. So these guys are Antichrist? Originally a death metal band, Therion adjusted its musical style by adding orchestral elements including choirs, classical musicians, and even a full orchestra at their concert performances. As a result, they are considered pioneers of the symphonic metal genre. I hear this constantly. Therion takes its themes for lyrics from different mythologies and practices, including occultism, magic, and ancient traditions and writings. The history of Therion, Blitzkrieg and Megatherion, 1987 to 1988. This is the year before I was born. 2 years before I was born, and the year I was born. Or the year before I was born. Therion originated as the band Blitzkrieg in Upplands Väsby, Sweden. In 1987, Christopher Jonsson, who had played bass for 3 months, teamed up with guitarist Peter Hansson, whom he had met in several music groups, and drummer Oscar Force, who was Jonsson's old schoolmate. The band's main influences were Metallica and Slayer, but its sound resembled Venom and Motorhead. The band had only 2 concerts. In March 1988, it split up after some disagreements with Force. In 1988, the band reformed with the moniker Megatherion, which was based on the album title To Megatherion by the Swiss heavy metal band Celtic Frost. Jonsson has mentioned that Therion is Greek for beast and likens it to Belphegor, which is a demon in hell, by the way, if you didn't know. Jonsson switched from bass to guitar, and Peter Hansson played guitar. Johan Hansson, who would later form the Swedish death metal band Crematory. Really? Holy shit! My buddy Lucian told me all about that band. Became its bassist, and Mika Tovalainen its drummer. After the band shortened its name to Therion, Eric Gustafsson of Dismember replaced Johan Hansson as the bassist, and Oscar Force returned and replaced Tovanen as the drummer. Matti Karki, later to be the frontman of Dismember, also joined the band and took over vocals. Demos and record deals, 1989, which is the year I was born, to 1993. In 1989, Therion released 2 demos, Paroxysmal Holocaust and Beyond the Darkest Veils of Inner Wickedness. Matti had left the band shortly after the first demo, so Christopher took over the vocals again in 1990. The band worked with House of Kicks, a local record store, to print and release the Time Shall Tell demo in 12-inch vinyl. The latest release enabled the band to sign a 1-album record deal with Def Records. Therion's first full-length album, Of Darkness, released in 1991, featured songs that Johansson had composed in the 1980s. The band called it both a debut album and the end of an era, and described it as progressive death metal. Since it contained elements that did not quite fit the standards of death metal at the time, the lyrics were very political, in the vein of Napalm Death, Nuclear Assault, and other late 1980s hardcore punk bands. Wait, Napalm Death is considered punk? What the fuck? Okay. Therion signed with Active Records for its second album, Beyond Sanctorium. Prior to recording sessions, Gustafsson left the band to return to the United States, so Therion continued as a trio with Hansson, Force, and Jonsson, the last of whom covered the bass. The album shows a more experimental edge to the death metal music. Keyboard and clean vocals were used sparingly. After the record, Therion changed members again. Force left the band, and Hansson had to quit for health issues. For the Central European gigs, Jonsson brought in drummer Piotr Warzenuik from his other band Carbonized. Bassist Andreas Wall and Magnus Barthelsson, who was an old friend from school. Musical Metamorphosis, 1993 to 1996. In order to scale down operations, Active Records had stopped releasing new records and transferred the band to Mega Rock Records. They released Symphony Masses Hodlaken Homegas in 1993. Its style combined death metal and doom metal together, with the elements of Middle Eastern music, industrial music, traditional 1980s heavy metal, classical music, and religious chanting. Symphony Masses sold about 10,000 copies, which was more than the band's first two albums, but hardly a financial success. As the band's touring gigs were not that profitable, Barthelsson and Wall quit the band. Jesus, they lost like 4 members in the last 4 or 5 years. And Frederick Isaacson was brought in as the new bassist, after a hiatus where Johansson worked as a vocalist for Messiah. They received an offer to join metal label Nuclear Blast. Mega Rock Records, lacking the resources to properly promote the band, decided to release Therion without any strings attached. Therion signed with Nuclear Blast in 1994 and has remained with them since. Therion's first album with Nuclear Blast was La Paca Clifoth, with its single The Beauty in Black, released in advance of the album. To Johansson's surprise, The Beauty in Black sold 12,000 copies in Europe before the company stopped printing. The album experimented with more elements: a classic soprano, a bass baritone, more keyboards, more Persian influences, more melodies. Johansson had a new style of singing that severed their ties to death metal. The album sold around 15,000 copies over the following weeks. Isaacson had some personal problems and was eventually released from the band. Jesus, here we go again, a member change. Therion brought in bassist Lars Rosenberg from the death metal band Entombed. I'm pretty sure that Amentis has had me react to Entombed. The band toured with Annihilator in Germany and also did a small headlining tour in Argentina and Chile. Symphonic Metal Beginning, 1996 to 2001. In 1996, Therion recorded their experimental album, Theli. The album heavily featured the vocals of 2 choirs, as well as vocals from Johansson, Warzenuik, and guest vocalist Dan Swano. The album featured keyboards and classic samples, which was labeled the Barmbek Symphony Orchestra. After the subway station next to the studio, Jason Unkenny of AllMusic noted that the album was almost universally acclaimed as the apex of Therion's career to date. Fully realizing Johansson's taste for elaborate operatic grandeur, in a month the album sold 75,000 copies, more than double that of La Paca Clifoth. Personal issues plagued the band's members. Jonas Melberg, who had joined as a guitarist from Unanimated, had severe alcohol problems and walked out during the mixing and mastering sessions. Warzenuik was busy with his studies, so Johansson brought in more members for their tours, including Tommy Eriksson of Shadow Seeds. Rosenberg's drinking problems got worse and he was fired from the band. In 1997, Therion released A Erlab Zararlak, Lucid Dreaming, which contained unreleased songs from Theli, some covers, and Johansson's soundtrack that he produced for a short art movie called The Golden Embrace. Johansson noted that the next album, Voven, was practically a solo album as it used studio musicians instead of the ones from the Theli tour, besides Eriksson. Johansson noted that the next album, Voven, was practically a solo album as it used studio musicians instead of the ones from the Theli tour, besides Eriksson, who provided some guitar support. Voven was recorded at Woodhouse Studios. It involved a real string orchestra for the first time and a hand-picked opera choir, which included Austrian singer Martina Hornbacher. and British vocalist Sarah Jezebel Deva. She has a middle name, Jezebel. You know that Jezebel's a demon, right? It's a spirit. It's one of the Antichrist spirits. It's not really Antichrist, but it's an evil spirit. A spirit of Jezebel is another saying for basically a succubus. The album was released in 1998, and in 2 months, sales had reached 150,000 copies in Europe alone, doubling sales of Theli. The band toured with Moonspell, nice, another band that I fucking love, and showcased Hornbacher and Diva on vocals. It brought in Sami Karppinen as the drummer, Christian Niemann on guitar, and his brother Johan Niemann on bass. The album, Crowning of Atlantis, released in 1999, was a mini album that was padded to full length with covers and live tracks. The band's next release, Degio, improved the participation of a full orchestra. Jonsson noted that 90% another solo album, but with a more permanent band lineup. Degio sold more copies than Theli, but not as many as Voven. Secret of the Runes, 2001 to 2002. Jonsson had written 7 songs but shelved them in order to make a Nordic concept album. He built a recording studio for the band called Modern Art. The band's 10th album, Secret of the Runes, was released in 2001 and had themes from 9 worlds of Norse mythology. It included the cover songs of Crying Days, Scorpions, and Summer Night City, ABBA, of which Puppeteer Wozniak provided vocals. The album received positive reviews and was an AllMusic's editor's pick. Therion headlined tours in Europe and Latin America with Evergrey. I've also reacted to this band. And My Insanity. Afterwards, Karppinen left the band to focus as a sound engineer for Modern Art, brought in replacement drummer Richard Evanson. Why does that name sound familiar? I think we've read about him before. Chimera! No shit! No wonder his fucking bio's that long. In 2001, Therion released the compilation album Bells of Doom to its official fan club. It includes recordings from the Blitzkrieg days in 1987, demos from 1989 that did not appear on any album, and an unofficial promotional demo from 1994 that enabled the band to land the record deal with Nuclear Blast. The album was later sold through Therion's web store in 2002. Therion released its first concert album, Live in Midgard, which contained recordings from its Secret of the Runes tour. Mostly drawing from its Budapest concert, the album was released to commemorate the band's 15th anniversary. Now, most of you guys can't read these comments that these guys are saying on the live stream because you all you see is the pictures. But they're fucking trolling me in this chat right now. So, firstly, Mentis, Lemuria, and Sirius B, 2004 to 2006. After the Secret of the Runes tour, the band had amassed 55 unreleased songs, which included the ones Jonsson had shelved, as well as contributions from the Niemann brothers. Jonsson remarked that we went through the songs and realized we had enough good material for 3 albums. Recording one after the other, promoting and touring each one separately would have taken several years and would have been a bad idea in being so productive. We would have had another 55 songs waiting when we finally came to the end of it. In 2004, the band released 21 tracks on 2 albums, Lemuria and Sirius B. The albums were released simultaneously and were available as separate albums or a twin pack. 171 musicians participated, including the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra and a 32-member choir. Contributing to lead vocals were Matt Levan and a returning Peter Wozniak. In July 2005, the band released Atlantis Lucid Dreaming, which is a compilation of the 1997 tracks that were not part of the Golden Embrace soundtrack and not including its Iron Maiden cover, Children of the Damned, and 7 tracks from its 1999 album, Crowning of Atlantis. It included a bonus live version of Black Sun. The band toured Lemuria Sirius B over 2 years and 106 shows, with its final performance at the Prague Power Festival in Cheltenham, UK, on 21st of March 2006. The last gig marked Johansson's final vocal stage performance. Therion released their first DVD set, Celebrators of Becoming, in May 2006. The set contains 4 DVDs, which include concert footage from its 2004 visit to Mexico City, documentaries of its 2004 to 2006 world tour, Jansson's art movie The Golden Embrace, the band's music video singles, bootlegs and commentaries, and 2 audio CDs from its Mexico City concert. How many more paragraphs we have? How many more? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 more fucking sections to read, dude. 5 more. Gothic Kabbalah. Live classical shows and the 20th anniversary tour 2006 to 2007. In September 2006, Jansson announced that recording was completed for a new album with 9 songs written by then drummer Peter Carlson. Gothic Kabbalah was released on the 12th of January 2007 and was followed with a tour through Europe, North and South America with Gravedigger and with support act Sabaton. Interesting. Therion also toured Japan for the first time. The band's Warsaw gig was recorded for the live album and video set Live Gothic, which was released in 2008. In these times, Therion held live shows that included local symphonic orchestras and choirs. The Therion Goes Classic show took place on the 9th of December 2006 in Bucharest, Romania. That's where Lucian's from. Another show followed at the Miskolc Opera Festival in Miskolc, Hungary, on the 16th of June 2007, with future band member Laurie Lewis as its featured vocalist. The first half of the show featured orchestral pieces from Dvorak, Verdi, Mozart, really, Saint Saëns, and Wagner. The second half pulled from Therion's repertoire the song Clavicula Nox was featured as a full orchestral version in the first half. The Bucharest concert was broadcast on Romanian television, and its first part was later released together with the entire Miskolc concert as the DVD/CD box set, The Miskolc Experience, in June 2009. In November to December 2007, Therion had a 20-year anniversary tour and 16 shows in Europe. Songs included Kali Yuga, Parts 1 and 2, the entire Theli album, and Alderuna Redaviviva. Alderuna Redaviviva. Oh my god. How did he fucking say that? How did he say that? Alderuna Redaviviva. The fuck? Alright. Part of the set list was determined by fan voting. Some songs were accompanied by the keyboardist, Ferdy Dorenberg, and a belly dancer on stage. And some of the shows featured also the ex-singers Peter Owajanuek and Mats Laban. The Budapest gig of the tour was recorded, but it was released only in February 2014 as a part of a DVD. Here we go again. Adeluna Redaviva and beyond. He's falling asleep. It's alright, dude. We got 4 more. New lineup in Citra Ara. In 2008, the band announced that its core group of musicians would be parting ways. But Jansson posted that he was in no way ending Therion. Johan Kohlberg became the new drummer, and Nalle Paulsen the bassist. The band did not tour that year except for a single open-air festival show in Plock, Poland, on 6th of September. On the 10th of May 2009, following the release of Miskolc Experience, Therion announced Thomas Wikström as its new lead vocalist. The band worked on a new album, Citra Ara, which featured new guitarist Christian Vidal and Snowy Shaw on vocals. Citra Ara was released on the 17th of September 2010. The band toured South and Central America for 17 days, and European tour through November and December. In March 2011, Gothic Kabbalah singer Katarina Luja left the band for a second time to rejoin the boring civil world and not be a cool rock star anymore, quote unquote. Thomas Wikström's daughter, Linnea, provided supporting vocals for the band since the Bloodstock Open Air Festival in 2011. Therion performed at Hellfest, Summer Open Air, Prog Power USA, and the 2012 Cruise Liner Bass Festival, 70,000 Tons of Metal. In a Bloodstock interview, Shaw mentioned that the band will work on new material at the end of the year. In September 2011, after 4 years of collaboration and session work, vocalist Laurie Lewis joined Therion as a member. In this year, also a board game called 011 was released. It features the band members and is based on the Citra Arla album. Getting a headache reading this, man. You guys are reading along with me? You're suffering with me? All right. Whew, here's the long one. Les Fleurs du Mal, that is French, and Luciferian Light Orchestra, 2012 to 2016. On the 14th of February 2012, Therion announced it was recording a studio album and had planned a 25th anniversary tour. Geez, this band already hit 20th and the 25th anniversary tour, and I haven't even listened to a full fucking album yet. I'm still in this goddamn biography. Les Fleurs du Mal was released on September 28th. The album is considered by Janssen to be an art project, which includes not only the music but also special inlay graphics and video clips. In 2015, partly released on a limited edition DVD called Garden of Evil. The album consisted of covers of French, chansons, and pop songs that were performed in the band's style. On the release day of the 25th anniversary tour was also started through Europe. Also featuring the album's contributing keyboardist Stefan Jernstall. Some leftover songs were released on an EP, Les Epraves, in the end of 2015. On the 14th of September, Janssen posted a statement on the band's website about developing a rock metal opera and that the band will not be doing any major tours or releasing studio albums. According to this, in 2013, the band was to play only at 3 minor summer festivals in Europe. In 2013 of April, this statement was reconsidered by Janssen itself and the rock opera unveiled tour, which was scheduled for the December 2013 and 15 European gigs to test the fans' acceptance of the new material. The framework of these shows included excerpts from the future rock opera and the entire Woven album due to its 15th anniversary. Wow. One album already hit 15th anniversary. No ads when I want them. Bro, this editing is going to take fucking forever. 100%. On the 21st of February 2014, 2 new releases were put on the market. A deluxe edition of Theli included 3 bonus tracks from Aharab Zalak, Lucid Dreaming, and a DVD with Theli's live performance, and a DVD set Adeluna, La Dava Viva, and Beyond with the 2007 anniversary concert in Budapest and the 2011 Atlanta show. In 2014, the rock opera unveiled tour was continued with a Latin American leg, which has also meant, due to family and work-related reasons, the last live performances of Laurie Lewis. However, she had remained a band member for studio performances. The new touring singer had become Sandra Laureano, debuting in the summer festival gigs and the tour for the first time in China through entire Russia in October 2014. The Russian leg of this tour was made upon the invitation of their 2013 tour support band Arkona. The drums were played by their former member Sami Karppinen, as Johan Kohlberg was not able to tour with them. However, Sandra, as a Germanic soprano, did not suit for every song. She was replaced first by coloratura Isa Garcia Navas, and later Chiara Malvestiti to sing in the shows. In 2015, Janssen worked on another side project called Luciferian Light Orchestra, which features songs in the 70s occult rock style. An eponymous album was also released in that year, accompanied by on-stage performances as support of Therion's 2015 Latin America and 2016 European tours, featuring Vidal and Paulson, both of them masked on the guitar. In addition to the last two tours, Therion had their very first acoustic gigs in Latin America, and on the 3rd of July 2016 in Bucharest. CDs and DVDs related to the side projects were not released by Nuclear Blast, but by Janssen's own label, Adeluna. I'm gonna have the patience for Elden Ring? I don't think I'm gonna have the patience for this fucking album. On the 13th of November 2016, the band announced that Johan Kohlberg had decided to leave the band due to different goals in playing music. For the 2017 live gigs, the former Amon Amarth member, Fredrik Andersson, filled in. And then on the 21st of November 2017, Sami Karppinen officially rejoined. On the 26th of January, Janssen revealed he had been suffering from intense pain in the neck and shoulders. He was diagnosed with 2 spinal disc herniations, allegedly resulting from years of headbanging. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh wow, didn't know that. Well, looks like I'm fucked, as he was at risk of losing the ability to perform live. As a result, the rock opera project was delayed and the band downplayed their sets of songs and concerts to allow Janssen to perform. By 8th of April, Janssen announced he had been able to avoid surgery as his condition has improved through physiotherapy, whatever the fuck that is, and the band would resume performing at festivals by August. Although he would have to play sitting, by the beginning of 2018, though, Janssen was able to perform standing up normally again. Janssen also arranged the orchestration of Sabaton's stage show with Symphonic Orchestra, performed on the 13th of July 2017 at the Masters of Rock Festival in Vyševice, Czech Republic. On the 15th of August 2017, the band announced the title and the release date of an operatic rock musical, Beloved Antichrist. We are finally here at the album we are doing today. Inspired by and partly based on the Vladimir Solovanov tale of the Antichrist, containing over 3 hours of music and 29 vocal characters, is to be scheduled for the 26th of January 2018, later postponed first to the 2nd of February, and finally to the 9th of February. In 2018, a European and a Latin American tour was scheduled, later also extended for China, and for the very first time, Australia. The European tour has featured again Imperial Age, never heard of them either, whose current album, Legacy of Atlantis, was made with Vidal, Paulson, and Thomas Wikström. After the last show of the tour, Linnea Wikström left the band and she was replaced by the new touring member, Rosalia Sardam, due to health issues of Chiara Malvestiti. Of some of the 2019 gigs were done again by Isa Garcia Navas. 10th of August 2019, Nal Paulson has decided to withdraw from touring and remain only a member for songwriting and studio recordings. For the year's only remaining show, Justin Biggs from the band Sorcerer was the stand-in. The Leviathan Trilogy, 2022 present day. The first Leviathan album was released on the 22nd of January 2021, partly with Snowy Shaw on drums. A sequel titled Leviathan 2 was released on the 26th October 2022. The 2022 festival shows of the band featured again Johan Kohlberg on drums, as Sami Karppinen took over the duties of Opus concerts after leaving of Martin Axelrod. For the end of the year, a European tour was scheduled but cancelled due to problems with their booking agent, and also stating increased costs of touring contributing to the decision, allowing only other 4 shows to play in Malta, Greece, and Turkey. It was followed by a long Latin American tour in winter 2023, which included 18 shows in Mexico. The third and final installment album, Leviathan III, is scheduled to be released in 2023. Therion draws its influences. Now, I don't do this until the end of my album reactions / reviews, whatever the fuck you want to call this. I don't do this. But we're going to read this, and I may cheat and look at this later, just letting you know. Therion draws its influences from several different bands. Its former name, Megatherion, comes from Celtic Frost's 1985 album To Megatherion. We've heard this several fucking times. Why you guys put this in the same fucking bio? And much of its music prior to Theli was inspired by the 1987 album Into the Pandemonium. For Theli, the band drew from Pink Floyd's album Atom Heart Mother and progressive rock group Klaatu album Hope. From Boven onwards, the band had drawn inspiration from classical composers like Richard Wagner and Richard Strauss, heavy metal acts from the 1980s from Iron Maiden, except 1980s hard rock bands such as Scorpions, Uriah Heep, Judas Priest, and tons of progressive 70s bands that nobody knows anymore these days. Symbols. The symbols on Therion's album covers originate from magic, spelled with a K. This is taken from Aleister Crowley's book. Occult and dragon rogue themes. The most common symbol is an why would it be an if it's an H? Hendecagram. Hendecagram, whatever the fuck that is. Hendecagram. An 11-pointed star. First appearing on the 1993 album Symphony Masses Hodlaken Homegas, and every album since. It symbolizes the night side of the Kabbalah, which has also been called the Star of Seth or the Star of Kliphoth. Janssen admits that the symbol is important to his magic, spelled with a K, and lyrics. Other symbols include Pythagorean pentagram, Nordic runes, Celtic cross, Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor, the astronomical symbols Venus, Moon, and Sun, the Kabbalistic tree of life, Sitra Allah. It's magic, Magick. If you guys are not familiar with Aleister Crowley's work, you're joking. Okay, you're trolling. Okay, sorry. But if you're not familiar with all Aleister Crowley's work, then he's a Satanist. He is literally probably the first Satanist to ever live or to ever document his stuff. I remember Anton LaVey on his deathbed said that he fucked up. So it's just to prove that God is real. Members. Official members: Christopher Janssen, guitars, keyboards, programming, Hammond organ, orchestral arrangement. Sammy Karppinen, drums. Nali Grizzly Paulson, bass guitar. Thomas Wikström, lead vocals. Christian Vidal on guitar. Lori Lewis on vocals. Touring members: Chris David, bass guitar. Chiara Malvestiti on vocals, Rosalia Sardiam on vocals. Here we go. The big fucking discography. I'm gonna make sure I get all this right. There's a lot. The full discography of Therion is as follows. Of Darkness, Beyond Sanctorium, Symphony Masses Hodlaken Homegas, Lapaka Kliphoth, Theli, Aharlab Zaharlak, Vovin, Crowning of Atlantis, Diageo, Secret of the Runes, Lemuria, Sirius B, which is a star by the way, Gothic Kabbalah, Sitra Allah, La Fleur de Mal, Beloved Antichrist, Leviathan, Leviathan the Second, and Leviathan the Third. Alright, fuckers, time to wake up. This is my full album reaction of Therion, Beloved Antichrist. Let's get at it. If you guys do not like these videos after this editing is done, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed at you guys. No, actually, please dislike every single video. If it's that bad, just leave a like or dislike, please. I'm asking each and every one of you watching right now to leave a like or dislike on this whole album, because these edits are literally gonna probably take me a whole week. I'm just throwing it out there. It's gonna take me a whole fucking week. Let's do this shit. Get your pillows ready. Ain't no fucking way this shit's gonna fucking pop off. Ain't no way. I'll be amazed if it does. The first track is called Turn from Heaven. This is the lobotomy. Is it really 3 hours long? Are they saying Turn from Heaven in the orchestra? Where will you go? Is this band Antichrist? Like they're Satanists? 100% Satanists? Because judging from reading the bio, it sounds like they are. It's not bad so far. You're not wrong, dude. Okay. So this is the first two tracks. Not bad. Not bad, you know. It's kind of bland, but at the same time, it's pretty good. I actually do like this a little bit. I like opera, so it's not really appalling to me. Apparently, you guys said it's a bad album. Maybe he's just trolling me that it was a bad album. Who fucking knows?